Okay, so John, let's talk about Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to?
And you watched the videos, yeah?
I did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I did too. So yesterday afternoon, there was an ICE operation or a series of ICE operations in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There were protesters who were communicating by text message. There's a text list where people can blast locational information of ongoing ICE operations. So there were people protesting the fact that ICE had gone into this neighborhood and they were grabbing people. There's a woman. It's unclear if she was a protester or not. It
seems so.
Yeah.
It looks more likely than not.
But the other protesters who were there said that she was not, one of the leaders or, the person who called the protest or whatever. She just happened to be there. She appears to have gotten scared, jumped in her car to drive away. And an ICE officer just opened fire on the car and shot her in the face and killed her instantly. She crashed into two other cars about 15 feet down the road. But then the ICE officer got in his car and took off. So the propaganda lies that the Department of Homeland Security put out were that the woman tried to run the cop over. I watched every video from every angle. That is a lie. Period.
It is a lie.
It's a lie.
The mayor of Minneapolis called it in literally quote unquote bullshit.
That's right.
Governor Tim Walz was also furious and said that he doesn't believe the federal government's story.
No, this was a cold-blooded murder in broad daylight in front of dozens of witnesses. If he had, listen, the standard operating procedure, and I don't care if you're with ICE or Secret Service or FBI or CIA or whatever, when you open fire on someone and you kill them, the investigation starts there. And you don't get in your car and run away.
You have to credibly believe that you're in fear for your life.
They actually told us in training, God forbid you have to draw your weapon and shoot someone. But if you do, the magic words are, I was in fear for my life.
Yeah.
You don't get in the car and run away.
But it's also all local police departments are trained, not to stand in front of cars.
Yes.
I think sometimes the cops try to do that because they figure, people will not run them over.
Right.
But, your body's not going to win a fight with a 3,000 or 10,000 pound vehicle.
Important point about that too. The bullet hole in the windshield is at the very bottom left of the windshield, right? Bottom in the corner by the driver's seat. But the angle is such that the shooter, the ICE agent, was on the side of the car, not in front of the car. So this notion that she was trying to run him over, it's complete bullshit.
No,
so
I mean,
one of our
there's other issues here. There's a lot of issues to unpack here. I mean, also the Supreme Court has ruled that it doesn't constitute probable cause to arrive at a police checkpoint and flee. That's not, you are allowed to do that. You can just let's say it's a DUI checkpoint. You can do a U-turn and leave, and the cops are not allowed to consider that evidence of guilt or anything.
That's right.
So she was clearly trying to leave. Also, apparently there were witnesses who said that she and other community activists who said that she was given conflicting information commands by the ICE agents. And I mean, it's just, I mean, I guess we knew that something like this was going to happen. They're hiring from the bottom of the barrel.
They are
for these positions.
They are.
These are in many cases people who were fired by police departments for not being fit.
It's just like the Bureau of Prisons. You get fired from the local police department or you wash out of the local police academy. You can't ever make it into the FBI or something like that. You tried your luck in the military and couldn't make it there. And so you end up at ICE. Nobody's going to care if you crack foreign heads. And that's what happens. And I'll tell you what, there was a piece in the Washington Post just a couple of days ago that the Secret Service is looking to expand by 40%.
Disgusting.
40%. They're going to be standing on street corners yelling for people, hey, you want to work for the Secret Service? Come on over. No qualifications necessary, and we'll give you a gun. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then of course, and part and parcel of all of this is that Trump wants to increase defense spending by 50% to $1.5 trillion annually. Knowing Congress, they'll probably say, "Hey, how about 1.6?" They literally give the Pentagon more than they ask for. John, for me, the part that really jumped out was how quickly Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem and other administration officials immediately came to the defense of the ICE officer, instead of simply saying, look, everybody needs to remain calm. We're going to investigate and find out what happened. And if there's, if something was done wrong, then, that officer will be disciplined or charged as needed. And if not, he will not be. But instead, when she said, immediately, she weaponized her car, she committed an act of domestic terrorism.
Yes, domestic terrorism.
And that she refused orders and that she had been stalking ICE. And that this is how you know the fix is in, right? I mean, there's no pretense here of objectivity or like of interest in getting to the bottom of it. I'd be more likely to believe the possibility that this ICE guy did nothing wrong. It's just a tragic accident, if not for this response. I mean, like there's no world in which Kristi Noem wasn't going to say something like that, right?
No, of course.
And that's
Kristi Noem. That's what she does. Yeah, I agree completely.
Her credibility is like completely in the toilet.
Absolutely.
And I don't think anybody believes. I mean, so John, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. We always do here. This is different because she's a U.S. citizen and she's a white woman in Minnesota.
That's right.
And that's why, she's not, former gangbanger. She's not Latino. She's not a dude. She's not, like a guy who used to beat his wife. She's this nice Minnesota lady.
Yes.
The press is going to be on this like white on rice, and it's not going to go away. I mean, I don't know what the administration should do, but they've got a serious crisis on their hands now.
Well, let me ask you, this is a crime involving a federal agent, but there's no federal angle to it other than that. This is a woman who's a resident of Minnesota, shot and killed in Minnesota by a federal officer carrying out an operation in Minnesota. So is it a state crime that may have been committed, or is it a federal crime?
Or is it a local crime? I mean, it seems like, look, this is like maybe if we get Bruce to come on and we can ask him this question. It's a lawyer question, but it seems to me like Minneapolis PD would be the investigating authority here. A local crime was committed. ICE officers don't have diplomatic immunity, right? I mean, they can't be put on a plane and sent back to Riyadh. These are, they can't, if an ICE officer rapes someone in Minnesota, they're going to be arrested by the local authorities, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. So if an ICE officer shoots someone in Minnesota, they should be arrested by the local authorities. It would be a state crime. It's like when we were talking about the Charlie Kirk killing. What in the world was Kash Patel doing there? It was a crime.
Grandstanding.
It was a crime committed in Utah.
No state borders were crossed.
No, exactly. Well, it looks to me to be the same situation here. So we already know the fix is in at the federal level, but I don't think this was a federal crime.
I also think that the more likely than not, because of the politics of Minneapolis and Minnesota, and Tim Walz right now is like probably not loving the fact that his citizen died. I'm not saying that, but he's probably loving the opportunity to be seen as doing something positive, as opposed to having to, explain away this Somali corruption scandal that he's dealing with and having to drop out of his reelection campaign. So this is definitely a better place for him. And charging this ICE officer is going to be, I think, a no-brainer for him popular. and for the mayor.
This will be a wildly popular decision if he.
They're going to charge him, right?
They're going to have to. They're going to have to. This woman, listen, I watched this video like you did a dozen times last night.
Yeah.
She was turning the wheel to go around another ICE vehicle that was blocking the road. She clearly was not aiming to hit this officer. In fact, if anything, he jumped in front of her car.
He did jump in front of her. Yeah. Yeah. Now that was my take as well.